Hello adventurers! I just wanted to make another video on seasonal characters. This time around, this one's going to be the actual first official season. I decided to do this one with the new class Choryeong, so as you can see here, I'm already editing her. I took someone else's I guess template for her. You can find those in the beauty album and then just kind of look through, see which ones you liked. But then I put that on my main account and then I just kind of did the same thing. I just copied that and then made it on here. So kind of the reason I decided was I wanted to get a feel for the new class. She's pretty good overall, has good clear speed, but her skills come out a little bit slow and the damage, it's kind of like ticking damage. So I don't know what she's like at a higher CP, but for the most part, I really enjoyed her. I thought her skills were super cool and I thought it was pretty fitting to use her, especially with the update for the Land of the Morning Light. But if this is your first time playing through the season, I highly recommend checking out my first video on pre-season. So that video is called Re-Zero to Hero. I'll leave that link in the description, but the reason I would suggest going to that one is I go through each of the story quests as I do the season. So while you're doing the season, there's a lot of quests that you need to do. This time around, I didn't really have to do any of those quests because most of them I had already completed from doing the pre-season on this new account as well. So this is a brand new account, but this is my second season on it, so it's a little bit further on than a fresh account. So as a result, this season went really quickly for me, so it's possible to complete the season within 1 to 2 days. And then there were a couple of changes for this season, so I'll be covering those and then kind of giving my thoughts on why the change is good, but also the rewards we received this time around were very nice. So we got upgraded rewards in the form of primal emblems. So everyone, once you finish this season, will get a primal emblem, which is the pink emblem, and that's really good because it eventually turns into a chaos emblem once you upgrade it. And then also, you now get a max stat primal glyph, which primal glyphs in the first place, those are really hard to get, but this is a max statted one, so that's really nice. Or what you can get is you can exchange it for a Perilla's Star, which I believe that gives 50 AP and then 50 DP. I could be wrong on that, don't quote me on that, but both rewards are really nice, so you have the choice of which one to get. I personally recommend the Perilla's Star if you haven't gotten that yet, just because that's like a unique item. That's a unique slot item where there's nothing else that you can put into your ornaments, but that is something you can put into your ornaments. So I suggest going for that, and then maybe the next season go for the primal glyph. But also, the season missions were simplified, so you can very easily burn through the list of quests that you need to do, but the rewards are really good. So again, make sure that you're doing this. If you're new to the game, make sure you're doing this, and then if you're not new, like, this is still really good because I think it did a good job picking up newer players to bringing them to like mid-level, and then also helping mid-level players like boost their CP up to where they're like they can actually compete with mid to high tier CP players. So for this video, I'll be doing a mix of commentary and speeding through the quests just so I can cover other topics like upgrading your gear, using Season Rift, exchanging your resources for different chests, and then also I'll be covering like information on knowledge XP scrolls, and then I'll kind of be skipping the story mission passes just because I didn't do them, but I do cover those in my previous video. So again, check that out if you haven't done this before. But with all that being said, let's jump right into the video. So some pretty quick good rules of thumb is do each of your tasks as soon as they come up, and then also upgrade your gear as often as you can. If you've already done the main quest, you'll really quickly advance through all of these tasks, so I highly recommend whenever the tasks that say defeat monsters come up, do it in the Seasonal Rift. The Seasonal Rift will give you a lot of the chests that you need for getting the resources that you need to enhance your gear, your accessories, your relics, your totems, and your lucky stone. So what I did was I started out with buying the 2 scrolls to get inside, and then that gave me 40 minutes, which gave me enough time to get to a point within the seasonal character progression where I could actually get more of those scrolls as a reward and then just keep on staying inside of there. So the thing is, you will have to run outside of the rift whenever you have a boss rush task, or whenever you have constellation, or if you have world bosses. Just run outside really quickly and then get that done, and then what I would do is keep going within your tasks without going it back inside until you are at a point where you know for a fact that you have to defeat monsters again, or that you don't have to do the boss rushes. Because it kind of sucks if you like run outside, you do your boss rush, and then you run back inside, and then it's like, oh, now I have to do Constellation. So it's kind of a bit of a waste of time. But again, it's pretty minor, so don't stress over it. It's not a huge deal, but that is what I would recommend. So for this task right here, where you have to do the node management, make sure that you already have workers hired in your camp, and then you can just kind of do it through there, through that actual task portion. You can go straight into the node management and take care of that. But I recommend just using your stamina, get it over with quickly. But something early on that happens is you end up with a bunch of junk in your inventory. So always check your inventory, make sure that you're dropping stuff that you don't need, especially these main quest expresses. I've already done all of the main quests, so I can't skip them anyways. And then also these blazing chaos crystal chests, those are also trash if you already have over 200 riftstone level. So again, just kind of keep your inventory tidy. You're gonna have to keep going back and forth on this, making sure that you're dumping stuff, but eventually you stop getting so many of these trash items, and then it makes it a little bit easier. But something that I highly recommend is early on, purchase storage for your character. So if you go into the Pearl shop, you can purchase extra inventory slots and then also extra weight. Those extra inventory slots are super helpful, even if it's an alternate character. So like if this is like just a random character, I would still recommend getting those, at least the ones that cost silver. But yeah, this is a little bit off topic and kind of random, but I did just want to show this new class in Trials of Ator just to show you what her skills look like. I think they're super cool. I think that they're pretty wide range, and honestly, I just like this whole like cinematic for Trials of Ator. Normally I skip it, so I couldn't help but just cover it anyways, because honestly, this class looks really cool. I'm really enjoying my time like playing this game again, but like from different classes. I've had people ask me before like, hey, what do you think is like a good class for newer players or for like killing monsters? I never have a good answer, and that's just because I play so few classes. I just play Phantasma, and that's about it. So I think seasonal characters has been a pretty good chance for people to try different classes and kind of realize there's other things out there, and you don't have to be stuck playing the same thing. I'm really enjoying this class. However, I do still think that the skills come out a little bit slow. Again, this character right now is in the very early stages of the game, so she doesn't have like everything that she needs to have like faster attack speed. So that could be another reason, but towards the very end of this video I have max attack speed and she still feels kind of slow. But regardless, so far I'm enjoying this, and I think it's a great change of pace. So this task right here is something that was changed for the new season. You now have to go through this outfit storyline to complete this. So all you'll have to do is go into the story. Like if you click that go button for that task, it'll take you to exactly what you need to do, accept the quest, and then just kind of follow the steps. There was one hang up on it though, which I actually messed up. It was a huge rookie mistake, so I wanted to make sure to cover this. Please don't do what I do, because I messed up big time. I'm actually going to go ahead and skip to that portion of the video. So in this part of the video where it's teaching you about tailoring outfits and upgrading outfits, do not do what I did. I accidentally tailored my the outfits that I should have had on instead of using the quest outfits. If you use the quest outfits, you'll get everything that you need. You're not going to have any issues. But what I did was I tailored the one that I needed, so it actually kind of got me stuck in a sense. So whatever you do, make sure you don't do this and just do the quest items. Only tailor the quest items, not your other outfits, because tailoring is just giving you the resources, which are the skein, to be able to upgrade your outfit. The part where it really messed me up was this next quest where it's saying to upgrade an outfit to mystical and equip it. Because I now no longer have an epic outfit, I can't upgrade anything too mystical. So I kind of ran into a big issue here. And what I ended up having to do was go on to my other character, which has an epic outfit, and I was able to upgrade that into a mystical outfit. So I was lucky there, but again, make sure that you tailor the quest item, not the epic outfit that you got as a reward from doing your quests so far. So this is the first example where I have a defeat enemies tasks. This is what I was talking about earlier. Whenever you have one of these tasks, make sure that you're going to the seasonal rift and then just killing them there. I found that I had plenty of time to move on throughout the story. While you're killing those monsters, you can keep doing the story unless you have to go outside and do something else. But it's also a really good time for you to be enhancing all of your gear, and especially you'll need to be farming here, because if you're like me and you haven't had time to do all of the stories to get all of the event chests, so there's events going on where if you've done the Mountain of Eternal Winter quests, you'll get a bunch of these chests to help you upgrade your gear. Or if you've done the new quests for Land of the Morning Light, you'll also get more of these chests. You'll get like 1,000 in total. However, because this is a new account and the stories take so long, I decided to not do that from the beginning and just see how far I could go without doing them. So this was my best option, and honestly, I think it was a lot faster than doing the stories right off the bat, because in hindsight, those 1,000 chests would have gotten me close, but it wouldn't have been enough to finish off my gear. So again, whenever you're needing to defeat enemies, just go here. I recommend going in non-PvP zones just so you don't get like killed. But as you can see by the footage right now, there's a lot of people here, so there was actually no spot, so I had to go to PvP zones. Every now and then, like later on, like there won't be any people farming where I'm trying to go, so it kind of works out for me, but I might have been lucky. But if you go to PvP zones, there should be less people, so that's okay as well. Something that I always want to reiterate whenever I'm doing these is make sure that you're taking time to go to your collection log and add all of the items that you've gotten so far. Collection logs can kind of be a pain to do later on, but if you're doing it while you're actually like doing your quests or while you're doing other things, it's not that bad, and then you only have like a few certain items that you need to get. So collection log can take a while. It is a little bit tedious, but as long as you're getting some of these early items or these easy early items early on, it won't be as bad. So always make sure that you're doing that. And then also, whenever you're killing in this area, make sure that you're going to the chaos zone, just so that way you can do your vials of light, and then you can get extra experience while you're doing that. Okay, so this is going to be the first example of you having to leave the seasonal rift just so you can do one of these tasks. Those tasks are always going to be the same for whenever you have to do boss rushes, constellation, or any of the world bosses. I know there's one more that I'm forgetting, but yeah, just kind of keep that in mind. Whenever you have to do these, you're going to have to run outside really quickly. And honestly, you could lose your spot for farming. Maybe because I'm posting this so many days after this happened, you aren't having those problems anymore, but this is the second day, so there were a lot of people. So just kind of keep that in mind, that your spot can be taken. Don't be upset by it, like people are just trying to do their quests, so no big deal. Just try to find another one, or like try to hop instances. So once I finish my boss rush, I go ahead and I check all my other tasks, and I see that the next one is going to be Constellation, so I don't go back inside. And this is true for like while you're doing your tasks in general. Typically it'll be do a boss rush, a couple quests later it'll be do a constellation or something else like that. So just kind of stay outside until you're done with those, and then just continue along your tasks until you know for sure that you have to be back inside of the seasonal rift. You do lose some time, but it's really not that much, and you'll be getting a lot of scrolls anyway, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. So going back to something that I had talked about before, was go to the Pearl shop and then select the tag inventory, or you can select the tag LT, And what it'll do is it'll pull up all these different inventory slots that you can purchase, or weight increases that you can purchase. Again, I highly recommend getting these. These are a huge buff to quality of life, so make sure that you do that early on, and you'll have a lot less trouble with managing your inventory. So again, while you're farming in the Seasonal Rift, you will be getting these chests right here. Again, I highly recommend just using them, and then you can try to work on your equipment while you're farming in here, or just while you're killing these monsters. These little refinement stones are really, really good for upgrading your gear. I will kind of be giving you an idea of what you should do for your gear, and then what I did for my gear in terms of whenever you're enhancing it. So with your totem, you can't really control like anything about it, like trying to make sure that you like save it or anything. This one's kind of like you just have to have blind luck. So just kind of shoot for 10 whenever you can. I encourage like trying to save up to like maybe 50 to 60 to 100 before you go for the 10. That way it kind of feels not as bad, and honestly, it's not that hard to get it. It's pretty easy. This is like one of the first things that I got to plus 10 anyways. And plus 10 is the max. So once you have that, you're good to go. But other than that, it's actually like the last item that you need to upgrade in the very end of the season. So don't worry about it, but just keep trying. Okay, so here I did want to show you really quickly more or less what I do for enhancing. I don't use any of the restorations or Valks until 13. So once you get it to 13, you can start using the Valks and the restorations, but I think that it's pretty much just good by itself without using anything. But then even after that, I don't even use plus 10% Valks. I think those things are pretty trash. No offense to anyone who uses them, but I think they basically do nothing, so I don't even use them at all. If you have a lot like I do, you can go ahead and use them, but even I didn't even check mark them, so I just left them be. One of the reasons for that is just because if I do plan on using the Umbral Chaos gear, I will use those plus 10 Valks as materials to craft them into the pristine crystals or whatever they're called. So I just don't even touch them. So I do 0 to 13. I do no Valks whatsoever. I don't do restores. And then from 13 up until 20, I will do plus 50% Valks, and I will restore at 13 and beyond. That works for me pretty well. I did it the whole way through, and it worked pretty great. Just a quick heads up is you'll also get some pristine crystals, which will give you an automatic enhancement. If you leave one of your pieces of gear at plus 19, you can just automatically change it into 20. So it's pretty quick, it's pretty easy, but just kind of keep that in mind. I think you only get one of them, but I could be wrong on that. I don't actually remember, because for whatever reason, when I was using this account, I think I accidentally used the pristine like early on like level 1, so that's kind of my bad. That's a bummer, but it is what it is. But yeah, just to reiterate, no Valks until plus 13, and then beyond use the plus 50% Valks, and then you can also restore, and you should have a pretty good time with that. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was enhancing your accessories. I would prioritize them. Do your necklace first all the way to plus 10, then do your belt, then do your earrings, then do your bracelet, and then do your ring. The only reason I say that is because whenever you're doing the later portions of your missions, that's going to be the order that you have to get them all plus 10 in. So make sure that you do that. It kind of helps you in the long run, but then also looking forward, or at least looking at what's on the screen right now, is we also get these knowledge scrolls. So every now and then you'll get this chest, which will give you a bunch of knowledge scrolls. I suggest just use them all like whenever they come in, because you have downtime while you're killing these enemies anyways. So it's a good way to keep your inventory clean. It's a good way to kind of boost your CP if this is like your first time using them. But also, like, if you don't even need them, you can trash them right away. So yeah, just do that. Keep your inventory clean, keep it tidy, and you'll thank yourself later. So just a heads up, I did skip a huge chunk of the video, but what I wanted to show was that you'll be getting these chests which give you these skill books. I highly recommend just go ahead and open those chests and then upgrade your skills as you go. Having your skills upgraded is really going to help you kill these monsters. I believe the way that the seasonal rift works is like it mostly just goes off of your skill damage for how much damage you do to the monsters. I could be completely wrong on that, but either way, your skills are super important. Plus, while you level them up, you get these bonus effects added to your skills. So I highly encourage using that, and then make sure that you also upgrade these skills as well, as you can see on the screen. But that's pretty much all I wanted to say about that. So one more thing that I wanted to show really quickly was that if you go to your craft tab and you go over to season, you have the option to exchange or disassemble some of these items. So if you disassemble them, you'll get 10 of these black crystals, which you can use to exchange for certain items. I don't recommend doing this until later into the game, so actually this is a clip from like towards the very end where I needed the lucky stones. But I just wanted to let you know that this is an option. This is something that you can definitely do early on for your accessories. So with all of that being said, that should be pretty much everything that I needed to cover. I am going to let this go ahead and play out and show the rest of my season. I'll be cutting, but I'm going to kind of make this into like a montage style music video like I've been doing for Zero to Hero. But I hope you enjoy this, and then I will interject anytime there is something that I feel like I need to say or something that I need to cover. So again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so that's the end of my seasonal character. I know that I went really quick towards the end. It took a lot longer than I made it seem. I had to go back and forth between disassembling and then crafting certain chests that I needed, but I got there in the end. But I did just want to remind you, once you've finished your season, make sure that you are opening up all of these chests and then equipping what you got. So for these primal totems, make sure that you equip the primal totem, but then equip all the other totems inside of that. It's going to make it a lot stronger. And then also for your relics, make sure that you put on the right relic that you want. Don't just auto-equip. Use whatever is good for your skill set, and then add all of those glyphs inside of those new relics as well. Something else that you should be doing is transferring all of your enhancements from your emblem to your new emblem. So this is going to be a new pink emblem for you, unless you already have chaos. But if you're new to the game, this is going to be really, really good. You can eventually upgrade the pink emblem into the chaos emblem. So be on the lookout for that. But then also there's a lot of other things that you can upgrade as well. Part of these chests is you also got dimensional crystals, so make sure that you equip that onto your gear. And then something to look forward to is you can also awaken your accessories, so that's something to look forward to as well. And then something else that you'll want to do is once you awaken your accessories, you can also you can also enchant your gear. So I'm going to show you really quickly what that looks like. So as you can see here on the gear, you have the ability to enchant your gear. All you're going to need are dimensional fragments and magical residue. That's for the gear, and then you'll need magical essence for the accessories. But again, you'll have to awaken it before you can do that. But once you've pulled those out, all you'll have to do is go over to your Black Spirit, go to enchantment, and then you can enchant it. I don't really recommend trying to restore until you're after plus 20. Plus 20 is really easy to get, so at the bare minimum, get it to plus 20, and then you can kind of work on other stuff if you want. But this is a great way to use your dimensional fragments, and it's also a great way to boost your CP. And then something else you should be looking forward to is upgrading this critical enhanced stone into a harmony stone. So harmony stones can hold a bunch of different stones. However, you do have to complete certain stories to actually unlock it. So if you go to your story, it will be under with great power. This will allow you to upgrade that pink stone into a chaos one. And then once you finish that quest, you can start this one, which is comes great harmony. This is going to unlock the harmony stone, which allows you to put all 4 of those chaos stones into one. So it's really, really good. But as you can see, you do have to complete Northeast Camisylvia main quest, Final Moments, Elisra. So I think that's about like a 34,000 CP requirement, give or take. I could be wrong on that, but just keep going on your main quest, and then eventually you'll end up getting to that, and then you'll be able to do that upgrade. But with that being said, that's actually everything that I had for this video. I am going to be working on, which I've already started it just to even finish my seasonal character, but I will be starting on these tale collections. I'm going to go through all of these stories just to make sure, like, if you had skipped these stories just because you wanted to get it done really quickly, I'll be going through each of these, listening to the dialogue, kind of actually letting the whole thing play out. I'm not going to be rushing it or anything, so if you do just want to watch these stories because you didn't get a chance to actually read them or listen to them, this would be a pretty good a good way to do it. But I'll be working on those individually, and I'll do each one of these stories separately. So if you have one that you were more interested in, you can just watch that one, and if not, that's okay. But with that being said, that's everything that I had for this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thanks, bye.